why was Polkadot in a recent metric, or should I say statistic, why was it able to reach over 900? Well, I'll explain that in today's video, even though nothing I say is financial advice and I'm not telling anyone to do anything. So according to ChainSpec, not that long ago, Polkadot, in terms of daily transactions, increased from only 8 to actually 986. That's a massive increase, right? So that's an increase, allegedly, of over 11,000%. Like, what the? That was just in a single day. It happened so recently, just a couple hours ago. So we got to think about that. Now, people like to say, well, why did that happen? Well, I think people just sometimes are like, what's wrong with Polkadot? You know? And they're like, there's maybe nothing wrong with it. So then I think a lot of people are starting to kind of enter back in again. Now, do I know if this is going to continue? No, but I mean, again, if we take a look at Polkadot, it's a pretty massive project, and I've been saying that typically people don't forget about a project that's so massive in some hypothetical cases. And if I take a look at it, Polkadot, we have to consider. People like to tell me that, oh, this is cooked and all this, but again, if the market were to recover, which we're seeing a slight hint of it as of right now, not really much, but again, even just a slight hint like that could already do that in terms of the activity when it comes to Polkadot. So it kind of showcases that when it comes to this space, yeah, sure, the downturns could be for quite a while, it could be years. But when things do hypothetically recover, like the speed of it typically happens in quite a fast fashion in some cases. This space, yeah, it can go down, but it can also move in the opposite direction too, in a pretty fast speed either way. That's the thing. And I think if anything, that statistic right there, again, in terms of daily transactions going from 8 to 986 when it comes to Polkadot as of late, it showcases to me that this could very well indicate a slight resurgence when it comes to Polkadot. Nothing too massive, because keep in mind, like even 986 daily transactions is still quite comical. Like it's nothing really that impressive. But going from 8 to 986, yeah, I mean, it's pretty respectable. And I think it's quite impressive, especially seeing what Polkadot is doing as of right now. Now, granted, DOT, which is Polkadot's native token, that reached a new all-time low not that long ago. Like if we take a look at it, the last time it reached an all-time low was around 2 days ago. So this is clearly not doing the best by any means. An all-time low, by the way, I just want to clarify, means that it's the lowest it's ever been in the history of its existence, right? In which case, again, DOT did achieve that around 2 days ago. Now, it only recovered around 2% in the past 24 hours, but I'm saying still, despite the market not doing the best, and despite the sentiment as of right now, when it comes to Polkadot, we're beginning to see a slight resurgence in terms of the daily activity, which I don't think is a bad thing. And I think sometimes people are starting to understand that when it comes to Polkadot, again, what bad thing happened to it? There's still Polkadot 2.0. There's an aspect of elastic scaling. DOT still has over 1 million holders. Polkadot historically is very well known for its focus when it comes to interoperability, which means that it's basically focused on connecting blockchains together. So what's wrong with this? I just don't get it. Polkadot, they just keep doing their thing. And can you imagine if the amount of daily transactions increased by that much in such a relatively short amount of time? Could you imagine what that figure would look like if it was during a hypothetical altcoin season, or if, let's say, if the market were to recover? Those numbers could very well look minuscule in comparison to if, let's say, the market were to recover, right, in terms of the activity. And that's a big if, but I'm just saying that figure right there is really nothing that impressive. But considering how low Polkadot has been for quite a while, it's still not bad, seeing again the daily transactions go from 8 to 986. I just thought that was quite legendary. Now, people like to tell me, well, again, DOT, which is Polkadot's native token, the market cap is still around 1.3 billion. It's so bad and all this. Okay, I get it. It's down, but we have to consider around a 1.3 billion market cap is quite massive. I mean, that puts DOT currently as ranked, or should I say as being ranked 44th when it comes to this space in terms of market cap. That's not a small project by any means. Now, if we take a look at it, DOT, in terms of market cap, it's around 15 times away, or 14 times away, basically, from December of 2024. Like, what the? I mean, that's quite low, right? I mean, that's how low DOT is as of right now. But is like December of 2024 really such a good time, anyways, when it comes to altcoins? I mean, in some cases, yeah, but it wasn't like a full on altcoin season, in my opinion. And still, we're so low compared to that. Like, again, around 14, 15 times, like in terms of the journey back to there. That's how low Polkadot is. But let's just assume we don't take a look at it that far. If we take a look at DOT, just back in October 2025, the market cap was around 7 billion. Right now, the market cap is around 1 billion or slightly above that. But I'm just saying for simplicity's sake, right? The market cap currently is around like 1.3 billion. But I'm just saying, if we take a look at DOT, even just going back to October of last year, the journey is almost 7 times. Like, what the? That's how low Polkadot is. And do I see anything wrong with it fundamentally? I just don't. If anything, Polkadot improved a lot this year. Take a look at not that long ago clarifying the tokenomics, right? And clarifying that, again, the maximum supply is going to be 2.1 billion when it comes to DOT. So in terms of the worry about hypothetical inflation when it comes to this, it's just been more clarified as of late. So in terms of the fundamentals, in terms of the improvements it's been making, it's just way better than I think all the years previous. Now, it may seem kind of silly, for me to even say that, just because DOT was way higher last year and also the year before. I'm totally aware of that. But also at the same time, we have to consider that when the market isn't doing the best, they keep on doing their thing. And eventually, this is the type of stuff that could matter maybe later on. Right? I mean, I've used this example before, but take a look at Odysseus in the movie The Odyssey. Didn't he have to make it through some downturns? Yeah. All Polkadot has to do right now is make it through the market downturn. That's it. It's kind of like Odysseus in the movie The Odyssey. Just make it through the downturns and, spoiler alert, right? Eventually, he made it back home. So when it comes to Polkadot, if it could make it through this market downturn, and if it could see, a point in which the market were to recover, the fundamentals are already all there. Polkadot has proven for many years that it's actually useful when it comes to the space. It's not going to suddenly become useless like that randomly, unless something really bad were to happen to it fundamentally. Then of course that'd be different. But as of right now, I just haven't seen it become useless like that. So if the market were to recover, usually people don't forget about a project of this size, in my opinion, and something with a use case like this, hypothetically maybe. So I'm not concerned. I mean, the only missing ingredient is really just a market reversal. That's kind of it. The fundamentals are already kind of there, through Polkadot 2.0 and all this. So I just don't really see anything wrong with it. But nonetheless, when I saw the amount of daily transactions go from 8 to 986, I found that pretty impressive. And I think it showcases that even with a slight market recovery, Polkadot's already doing that. So imagine what that figure could maybe hypothetically look like if the market were to actually recover for real. If it were to actually have this long sustained recovery, could you imagine what that number would look like? If the daily transactions at that point was like over 10 grand or over 20 grand or whatever. I mean, I guess it wouldn't hypothetically surprise me. Who knows? We'll wait and see. But yeah, I mean, just seeing Polkadot, even with a slight market recovery like that and the statistics already changing that drastically, it showcases that, again, if the sentiment were to come back in again, Polkadot is just waiting right there. Personally, I am still dollar cost averaging once a month, and that's kind of it, but I'm not telling anyone to do anything. However, I'll be sure to make more updates moving forward. So I want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a very wonderful and fantastic day. It's been Lee the Captain. I'm out. Peace. Bye.